This is James Arnold Taylor, voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Welcome to a more civilized podcast. This is the podcast you're looking for. You may not go about your business. Stay here, listen, and then move along.
Hi there, Star Wars fans. It's Kyler.
And Chris.
And Ross.
It sure is. It's the three of us. Same as always. Big surprise.
Sometimes there's four.
Sometimes there's four. That's true.
Sometimes we even have 5 or 6.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh boy, now you got me thinking about February Valentine's episodes. It's going to be so good. Okay, but today, this episode is brought to you by Steven Boswell, who, as you know from our Nerf Nugget,
if you
left
listen
us
to it, yes.
some
If you didn't,
hilarious
go listen
gifts.
to our hacking laughter for like 2 minutes solid.
Oh my gosh. It's so funny. Well done, Steven. But this episode literally is brought to you by Steven. Somebody in the Facebook group was talking about death in Star Wars, or like how many deaths there were, or something like that. Steven, our fact checker, went to the actual effort of counting all of the deaths in all of the movies.
Did he do this himself?
He went and did all the research.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So like he was digging around for like other people that had compiled lists. Like I know he watched some of the stuff himself. Like he spent hours compiling this list and sent it to me with an email that basically said, here's all the deaths in case you guys want to use this for an episode. Don't ask me to do anything ever again. This was so much work. And to not have it go to waste.
His gifts to us make a little more sense now, considering.
Yeah, he wanted to punish us. Yeah.
And I've been thinking of like the best way I could pay him, like return the favor of those gifts. And the only thing I can think of is just, hey Ross, give us the newsy news.
Yeah! The newsiest news to ever news.
So newsy, the newsiest news.
Oh, that was...
Poor Kyler, this is actually just insult upon injury, but...
Yeah.
Well, but Kyler really came out ahead with that picture.
I got a framed picture of Ben Swallow.
It's awesome.
People are going to walk into wherever you're going to hang that and be like, wow, so you let your wife hang that up, huh?
Like, no, it was sent to me by a fan.
Anyway, Ross,
Yes.
give us the newsy news.
Yes, so we have several pieces of interesting news. The first off, the one that I want to talk about is actually local to our podcast.
Hey!
So I had made some posts a little while back about streaming some of the Star Wars games for people to watch and putting them up on YouTube for people to watch in Infinitum. We're going to start that with Jedi Fallen Order coming out here in a couple weeks. It'll be next week by the time this airs. So, stay tuned to the Facebook for times. I'm going to be streaming on YouTube rather than Twitch because I realized Twitch doesn't save the VODs.
Oh, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah, no, everyone just kind of pushes them all to YouTube. So I was like, well, why don't we just do it on YouTube and have it done all at once? So,
Yep.
And so I'll be streaming straight from my PlayStation, so it'll also be a little weird if you're a fan of watching streamers, but we'll make it work. #adequate.
Yes.
So, be on the lookout for that. We'll have some fun playing Jedi Fallen Order. Next, we have some Benioff and Weiss news coming from
D&D.
Lucasfilm.
Yep.
And actually, we have it as two separate items here, but they're kind of the same one. So first, I'm sure you've all heard by now that Benioff and Weiss have left their Star Wars projects for what is rumored to be the reason being that Netflix offered them all sorts of money to come and
like
run.
$250 million
Yeah,
or
they got a
something.
huge
Like, it's a
deal with-
lot.
Yeah. So they're going to be running. Was it one series or was it 2 series over at Netflix? I don't remember.
I
the
don't
details
remember.
now,
I just
but-
remember seeing the $250 million, and I was like, well,
Yeah.
that's a big paycheck. I kind of understand.
Well, and two, it sounds like it was the sort of thing where it was like they signed these 2 deals at once, or they haven't officially signed a deal with Lucasfilm, and then it was the sort of thing where Netflix is like, well, wait, you're doing Star Wars? Like, how long are you going to make us wait before you're fulfilling this deal? And you know, I'm sure if I were Benioff and Weiss, I'm sitting there like, okay, well, I can do basically whatever I want over here with Netflix, and they'll give me money, and they have actually a pretty solid history at this point of letting creators do just whatever they want. See the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. And which is seriously the kind of job where, like, how did this even happen? It was basically Netflix going, here's a blank check, do what you want. And or we can go make another entry in the Star Wars franchise for just the most lovingest ever fan base. Yeah, I feel like one of these is going to have a better return for my mental health.
Yeah,
I'd probably go with Netflix too.
So that is kind of the long and short
I would
of
never
it.
pass up an opportunity to do something for Star Wars, but
Me neither.
I'm not D&D, so
Yeah, you say, yes, I'll do it, and then delete all your social media.
yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. So that is basically the main talking points, is that there was also something about Kathleen Kennedy kind of pushing them out. There was a rumor that maybe that was it.
Yeah.
But it sounds more like it was the offer from Netflix, and they were like, yeah, this is a better deal all the way around, so hi, Netflix, we're friends. Which is super unfortunate because the series that they are now walking away from was going to be about the origins of the Jedi.
Which
So
I think is what I had predicted.
Yeah.
And it would have been so cool.
Yeah.
I hope at some point, like when their Netflix deal is done, that they come back and get to do that. Because it would be a really cool story to see told, and I think they would do it well.
Yeah. Well, and Lucasfilm might take the premise and give it to someone else now.
Yeah, and I'm worried about that because I think they would do a really good job with that.
What if they brought on Peter Jackson? Someone who's familiar with that sort of style. I mean, there are options. It wouldn't be the end of the world, but anyway, it's unfortunate to see them go. I was excited to see what those guys were going to do, but we wish them well. Something. Whatever the other pleasantries are that I'm supposed to say at this point. Anyway, next we have exciting news. So if you listened to our last episode, we talked about the trailer for Rise of Skywalker, which simultaneously
our last mini episode.
Yeah, our Nerf Nugget. Which simultaneously marked the release of the tickets for Star Wars, which wasn't true because we got our tickets before the trailer aired.
Yeah.
But whatever. It is being reported that the Atom Entertainment, which is who deals with tickets and has for lots of big releases and movie things, they released the numbers for the first hour of ticket sales. And
it's impressive.
It is very
large.
impressive.
It outsold.
It's high. It's very high.
Well, the headline here is that it outsold
Avengers Endgame.
Yes.
Which I believe was the previous just record holder for
Yes,
most sold
it
in the
was.
first hour of
and
a release.
now Rise of Skywalker beat that, so it
not only beat it,
it
beat it by
smashed it.
45%.
That's
almost half
that's
again as many.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is stupidly
it is
crazy.
amazing.
Like,
well, and that's
oh my
amazing.
gosh.
That's just
Because again, and it's not like Endgame had low numbers and this is a low bar to beat. Like
no.
it was
Endgame is the
Endgame,
most best-selling movie in history right now.
So that
Like,
bodes well potentially for Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
And every article I've seen about
Which I would
this,
love to see Star Wars dethrone Avengers again.
Every article I've seen about this is very quick to point out that this doesn't necessarily mean that Star Wars will do better, because apparently Star Wars doesn't do as well in foreign markets as it does here,
That is
where
very
Marvel
true,
does.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll
it's
see.
it's that too, and also just the amount of data we have on how well advance ticket sells it correlates to eventual box office. We don't have a lot of data. Like it goes back a couple years, but it's just the system's been in flux. It changes over time and evolves, so it's really hard to actually pinpoint from this what that would turn into.
Yeah.
I did, however, enjoy the snark of this article. That was just someone just like, well, so much for all that very vocal little group of fans insisting that The Last Jedi killed the franchise and that
no one's gonna go see it.
And I got like 3 people in my various feeds, 3 or 4 that are constantly like, I've unfollowed most of them just because it's like every bit of Star Wars news that gets announced. It's like anything even vaguely related to Rise of Skywalker, Mandalorian, anything is just them posting like, yawn, I don't care about this anymore because I have moved on because The Last Jedi was so horrible. And I'm just like, yeah,
They're all Valley Girls.
yeah,
Every
well,
one
and
of
I'm just like, yeah, you've clearly moved on. You literally cannot let a Star Wars post go by your feed without commenting, oh, by the way. It's just like, oh, hey, did you hear that Mandalorian's coming out soon? It's like, I am so done with The Last Jedi. It's like, thanks.
Hate on Star Wars and Last Stand in particular has reached vegan and or CrossFit levels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so I enjoyed the snark of this article where they were just like, well, so much for those people.
Yep.
Yep, it'll be awesome. And finally, for our news, is just a reminder.
Newsy news.
Our newsiest news ever.
Yes.
Thank you, Chris. It warms my heart to have a little support here.
See, it would not have warmed my heart until now. So now it does warm my
we go.
cold little heart.
See what you've done, Steven.
One of us.
This is
one
just the
of
only
us.
way I can think of to repay him. Yeah, that's the best possible
That's right.
return I can give. I am Team Newsy News.
And again, finally, the last thing is just a reminder to go and enter our contest to go see Rise of Skywalker with us.
Yes.
Kyler even sprung for the good seats.
I did.
The good theater, the one with the big cushy seats, and all sorts of good
Yes.
stuff. So
They recline and everything. They're nice.
yeah.
It is a nice theater.
So go and do that. Go check out the Facebook with the pinned items and or pinned tweet, which will have all the contest information that you need to do.
Yes.
So anyway, that is the newsiest news.
Such newsy news.
That's right. Take it away, Kyler.
Sure there's no more newsy news, Ross?
I was trying to think of something, but you know.
I hate you both so much.
Wow, this is weird. Usually it's me and Kyler doing this to Ross.
Yeah.
How does
So-
it feel, Ross?
Oh, it's so great. You know, it's such a relief, a weight off my shoulders. I can enjoy this episode.
It's great. Yeah, let's have some fun.
Are you both finished?
I gotta
Ross
say,
is giving me the look I normally give him.
Yeah.
Kyler gives an even better return for this sort of teasing than Ross does.
Okay. So, Steven compiled a multiple page, it's like 14 pages or something like
Wow,
that, of
awesome.
death listed.
Now I understand why he was so mad.
Hours
So
and
now I
hours.
need to figure out how many questions we can raise about these figures to ask him to go fact check.
So, has this broken down by movie, and he has the deaths listed out, and then he has totals for
All
each
right,
movie,
nice.
and then his sources for where
I
he's
gotta say,
getting
I
this.
do appreciate your thoroughness.
Yeah, way to
here.
be
Yeah,
thorough.
it's
That is impressive.
incredibly thorough. So once again, thank you, Stephen. So 2 pilots in the beginning, 3 astromechs, a pod racer.
We're starting with episode 1.
Qui-Gon, yeah, Phantom Menace. Yeah, Qui-Gon, half of Darth Maul. He says, I'm giving him half because, 1, it's a joke, he got cut in half, lol. And 2, when the movie came out, for all intents and purposes, he was dead, but it was later retconned that he was alive, so...
Yes.
It's fair.
He was clearly intended to be dead.
So, 8 Naboo guards / pilots, 27 Gungans, then the Lucre Hulk, which gets blown up.
Oh, yeah.
25 command staff, 150 crew droids, 139,000 battle droids.
Are we counting droids?
39,000.
So, I don't know.
I guess
So
it depends.
64
Are droids sentient?
So he has this in the totals. He has them in a separate
Oh,
category.
good. Oh, nice. Nice.
So
Way to be thorough.
64 and a half biologicals killed.
64.
139,153 droids killed. Light side losses 41, dark side losses 139,175 and a half, and scum losses 1.
So
Yeah,
now,
man, being
where
on the
is
dark
he-
side does not pay.
Where is
Yeah.
he getting the numbers for the battle droids?
I would
And is he
presume
counting-
the crew complement of,
Lucre Hulk class battleship from Wikipedia, which
Okay.
would have its crew listings
Yeah.
there.
So, but he's also then counting every droid that was deactivated after the destruction of the ship. Then
I think so. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think he's counting
probably.
the ground battle too.
we do
like-
see them
well,
literally fall apart afterwards.
Well,
so.
and actually,
That's
I think
true.
it's
That is
probably
true.
all part of the same because they all come from the Lucre Hulk battleships, and
Yeah.
and it's just one of them that deploys its complement to the ground.
That's...
So I think that's what it's all.
well, but that's what I mean. Is
Steven, fact check us.
was there a difference between droids destroyed and droids deactivated? But it sounds like they're all together.
I think it was all sort of together that they were defeated, quote unquote. So they're all getting lumped into one. So Attack of the Clones, 1 Zam Wessel,
Poisoned.
Yep.
1 Shmi Skywalker / Lars.
Lars? Did Lars die?
Lars doesn't die in
He
the
doesn't
movie.
die in the
He
movie.
loses like a one.
Oh!
1/16.
I see. 1 Shmi Skywalker / Lars.
the
Shmi
married.
Shmi
Gotcha.
Lars because she gets married.
Oh.
So she was a Skywalker, now she's a Lars.
Oh, I
get
see.
what he said. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So 1 Shmi.
I was like, is this an obituary? She is survived by her husband.
So 1 Shmi, 1 Zam, 401 droids, 85 clones, 16... and these are just the ones that we see on screen. Yeah. So, 16 Jedi, 13 Geonosians, 7 Naboo Royal Guard.
Only 13 Geonosians, huh?
That we actually see get
that we
killed.
see.
Yeah,
okay.
7 Naboo Royal Guard, 3 Sand People, but the whole village probably around 25 individuals.
Yeah, I was going to say, we know that the village does get slaughtered. Not just the men.
1 Jango Fett. Yeah, but the women and children, too. 1 Jango Fett. Yep. And 1 Lucre Hulk core, which is 25 command staff,
tons of Jango
Nemoidians
Fetts,
or other biologicals, most likely, and 150 crew droids. Mm-hmm. So, for a total of 174 biologicals, 551 droids, 109 light side losses, 589 dark side losses, 2 scum losses, and 25 neutral losses for the for the Tusken village.
Right.
Yeah. Revenge of the Sith. The opening battle, 1 Munificent class frigate, crew 200, most likely droids from what we've seen in the Clone Wars cartoon, which is pretty true. We rarely see biologicals on Munificents. They're usually on the bigger ships. 150,000 battle droids, 1 Invisible Hand. Can't find a cannon crew size, so we won't be adding it, sadly. But probably...
But, I mean, some of them might have survived, since the Invisible Hand, half of it does crash land safely.
That's true.
It's quite a happy landing.
Yeah. 118 droids for our good guys. 64 clones. 1 Count Dooku, 1 General Grievous, 4 Wookiees, 1 Jedi Master Aegon Kolar, 1 Jedi Master Saisi Tin, 1 Jedi Master Kit Fisto, 1 Jedi Master Mace Windu, 1 Jedi Master Kiadi Mundi, 1 Ayla Sakura, 1 Jedi Master Plo Koon, 1 Jedi Master Stasa Lee, 1 Padawan Zet Jukasa, 3 Unnamed Jedi, room full of younglings, approximately 7. Separatist leaders, 10 in total, 1 Padme.
Was Ayla Sakura not a master? I thought she was.
I thought she was as well. Total 100 biologicals, 150,318 droids, light side losses 92 plus the Jedi Order.
Yes.
Of 10,000-ish. Dark side losses 150,326.
Yeah. He does have his side note here saying that the info he can find says the Jedi Order was about 10,000 strong before Order 66, and probably less than 100 survived, but he can't find any actual specific numbers, so it's not in the total.
10,000-ish.
92 plus the Jedi Order, yes.
See, and you can't put a number on how many survived because that limits how many different properties can say, this is another Jedi that survived Order 66.
Which,
it is increasingly more.
It was inevitably always going to. It did in the extended universe too, where it's like, the Jedi Order was exterminated, except for this one.
And this one, and this one.
And actually, it turns out that basically the entire Jedi Order survived. It turns out.
I do want to talk about this, though. Historically speaking, it is very, very rare to talk about a people or a city or an organization being wiped out, where it literally means every single member of that order is killed.
Yes.
That is... it almost never happens.
Yes.
Almost never, right?
Which is why I don't mind delving into that here and there and being like, yes, this is realistic to have some Jedi survive.
So it's like, Palpatine's plan, it did work. It didn't kill every single Force user that wasn't in his pocket, but it sure destroyed the Jedi Order.
Yeah. It destroyed everyone that wasn't a protagonist.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's like, so that's okay. Yeah. I still say that that's not necessarily a discrepancy because there were survivors. Order 66 did its job. It destroyed the Jedi Order, removed that obstacle from his path to power, and there were a few leftovers, but that's why the Inquisitorius is there. Okay, it's all.
Who are themselves then, in a weird way, leftovers. And,
many of them were former Jedi who went dark either before or immediately after. It kind of makes you wonder
what the whole point of the Rule of Two is. If it's like, well, they're not formally inducted to the Sith, but at what point is that even necessary? Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So, there we go.
So that's the prequel trilogy.
Solo.
Quite deadly.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I think it only goes up from here, doesn't it?
I don't know.
Probably.
Well,
So, Solo. 1 regional governor, 1 Rio, 1 Val, 1 L3 droid, 1 Tobias Beckett, 5 droids,
Not
5
a good day for scum.
TIE pilots, 8 mud troopers, 1 range trooper, 2 crews of trains, 1 Mimbanese
Were
person.
those trains crewed?
Yeah.
I thought they were more
I don't think
drone-like.
so.
Well, they had stormtroopers coming out of
Yeah,
them, like, to
2
defend them.
Cloud
As guards,
Riders,
but-
25
yeah,
Kessel
that's-
/ Pike Syndicate guards, 11 Crimson Dawn thugs, 1 Dryden Voss, so 60 biologicals, 6 droids, 2 light side losses, Cloud Riders because it turns out they're rebels. Otherwise they would be scum losses, right? Dark side losses 17 and scum losses 41.
I feel like Steven is actually going to have to fact-check this episode, probably more than any other, with all these little comments we've had. Sorry, Steven.
Yep.
You thought this
I'm
was going to
not.
make it easy? No. No, this is going to be tough for you.
Alrighty, 1 Lyra Urso in Rogue One.
Yeah, moving on to Rogue One.
1 Imperial Tactical Droid, 1 Saw Gerrera, 6 Imperial Technicians, the guys Krennic has gunned down in front of Galen.
Right.
1 Galen Urso, a moment later.
Yep.
1 K2SO, 1 Chirrut Imwe, 1 Bodhi Rook, aka Pilot, is what he literally has written in his
Thank you,
notes.
Steven. I
1
would not have
Baze
known who you were
Malbus,
talking about otherwise.
1 Director Krennic, 1 Jyn Urso, 1 Cassian Andor, 112 Stormtroopers, 61 Rebels, 20 Droids, 21 Partisans, 3 Imperials in the turret at Edu, 17 Shore Troopers, 9 Death Troopers, 6 AT-ACT drivers, 9 TIE pilots, and 1 Tank Trooper. And then the Lightmaker Hammerhead Corvette, 5
Right.
crew, as best as he can tell. Profundity, 3,225 crew.
Right.
And 1 ISD-1s times 2, 9,235 officers, 27,850 enlisted, and a Stormtrooper complement of 9,700 between
Wow.
the two of them. Shield Gate, at least 4, but we have no numbers or stats for this one.
Right.
So at least 4 people die, but probably more than that.
Yes. Seems likely.
So total, wow.
Oh, and I didn't hear a city of Jeddah there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the city of Jeddah. Yeah, 1 holy city.
Yeah.
So, 9,000 or 97,000.
Don't you mean a cratery city?
Yeah.
Which is
97,058 biologicals, 22 droids. Light side losses 3,319, dark side losses 93,739, and partisan losses 22. Plus one holy city of Jeddah.
Yes.
Ooh.
Dang.
Yeah. Oh, I think when Steven told me about this, he said he wasn't including things like Alderaan or Jeddah, but I want to. So
yeah.
I'm adding them in. Because we're about to take a serious leap.
Yeah.
A New Hope. 1 Greedo, 1 Obi-Wan, 4 Stormtroopers, 18 Rebels, 9 droids, 1 Death Star,
Oh, he does have Alderaan.
1.7 million military personnel, 400,000 maintenance droids, 250,000 Imperial civilians. Alderaan, 2 billion.
2 billion Alderaanians.
So, the grand total is 2,350,024 biologicals.
oof.
Well, that death toll just went up a little bit.
Yes, it did.
9 droids, light side losses. Ooh, this is the first one where it doesn't pay to be good.
Yes.
2,000,000,028.
This is making some assumptions about the relative goodness of the people of Alderaan. But
Generally speaking, they were supportive. Dark side losses 2,350,000, and 4 scum losses 1. That would be 1 Greedo.
Yes. So, yeah.
Who was in fact
This is a
shot
nice.
first.
This is a nice reminder, though. Whenever those Imperials get going on with their propaganda about the terrorists destroying the Death Star and the horrific death tolls, just remember that it is literally 1/100th of the amount of people.
It
that
was
the-
retaliation, Chris.
No, other way around.
It was preemptive retaliation.
Preemptive retaliation. It's like, yeah, no, we were retaliating for the destruction of the Death Star, but didn't you use the Death Star to destroy Alderaan? How does this, like, time travel in Star Wars? We've got
There
our
it is.
proof.
Confirmed, yeah. All right. Empire Strikes Back. Here we go. 1 Admiral Ozzel, 1 Captain Nita, 86 Stormtroopers, 12 Rebels, 5 Imperials, 7 more Stormtroopers, 4 TIE pilots, 2 AT-AT pilots, and 1 droid, for a
Man.
grand total of 118. This might be our lowest one.
Yeah.
Like, since, Yeah, I think so. 118 biologicals, 1 droid, 12 light side losses, 107 dark side losses.
Yeah, I'm going to say that kind of makes the Empire Striking Back look pretty inefficient
Weak.
here. Like,
Yeah, no kidding.
It's like, hey, last time we killed 2,028,000,000 of you. This time we are going to strike back and kill 12. Versus our 107 that we lost in the process. Hey, guys, the math doesn't seem to add up here.
We already know that the Empire follows the Napoleon-Stalin form of warfare, which is throw more men at the problem until it goes away.
Absolutely.
So,
oh man. Side note. No, never mind. It's a tangent. Doesn't matter.
No, do it anyway.
I got in a irritated debate with someone the other day who was dismissing the Soviet Union and they're talking about Nazis and everything, and I was like, no, excuse me, like the Soviet Union, let's not dismiss the atrocities of the Soviet Union.
Let's not dismiss that during the war alone, the war years alone, Stalin killed twice as many people as Hitler.
Yeah. Well, and it's one of those things where they were like, yeah, but it's like Hitler had, it's like 6 million people died in the Holocaust. And I was like, no, 6 million Jews, first of all. It's 10 million people died in the Holocaust. And
historians now think it's closer to 11, but go ahead.
Yeah, cool. And thank you. I do appreciate that, actually. But 10 to 15 million is the lowest number that we can be sure of that Stalin sent to death in his gulags.
And it's generally considered to be more around 22.
Easily, quite likely to be above 20,000, and if not...
Yeah, 20 million, you mean.
Yeah, 20 million. And it's like, that, and that's just his own people, for the most part. And then you look at the war, it's like, oh, well, this guy was like, you got to factor in that Hitler caused the war, and it's just like, okay, but here's a fun fact. More Soviets died in that war than all the other sides' casualties combined.
Yeah.
The reason for that is not just that, oh, we're super determined to capture the Soviet Union. No, it's because Stalin literally sent his troops, it's literally just throwing them into the meat grinder to try and stall it. They had 1 rifle for every 3 troops that they sent into battle.
Yeah, and it was just you pick up the guy's rifle when he dies.
Yeah, if he dies, you pick it up, try and loot one off of the enemy if you get a chance. Like, they literally sent 2/3 of their troops completely unprepared for battle. No training, no nothing, just threw them out there. It was so decimating to the number of men in the Soviet Union that the rough 50-50 ratio that most nations have still has not recovered in Russia after almost 80 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's astounding. Anyway, so
but
that's what we mean when we say a Stalin-esque approach to battle here.
Yeah, exactly.
Is the Empire's...
But the reason for that, just because we already went on a tangent, so I'm going to finish it here.
Yeah, please.
So if you remember Mrs. Burdett, our AP European history teacher in high school,
I do.
she's fantastic. She said the reason that everybody harps on Hitler, with good reason, and forgets about Stalin with poor reason, is because when you do it to your own people, nobody cares. It's only when you do it to other people that we have a problem. So Hitler killing Germans, who cares? Hitler killing Jews, shame upon you. Stalin killing Russians, meh, who cares?
Yep.
It's only if you do it to your own people, no one will care.
Yeah. Well, and it will be easier to hide, and people will just like, oh, that's not really, people didn't believe the Holocaust was happening before. People at this point often don't believe that the Holocaust happened because it's been too distant. Like,
that's so crazy.
It's hard to believe those sort of things.
Well,
anyway,
there we go.
There's your little historical tangent.
Yeah, this episode is educational.
I guess it's thematic to this episode, though. So.
Mass death. Yeah. So, Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
We have one Jabba the Hutt.
I like how he spelled that.
Yeah, Jabba the Hutt.
Da Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt. Anyway, that's all I know how to say in Hutties.
You do it well, though.
I do. Yeah, thanks. 1 Boba Fett. 15 Jabba gangsters. What?
But does that count? Because we know he lives?
Yeah, that counts. Because he didn't... It's the same thing with Darth Maul, I'd say. Yeah.
15 Jabba gangsters. 13 stormtroopers, 11 TIE fighters, 8 scout troopers, 7 AT-ST pilots, 6 rebels, 4 Ewoks, 1 Imperial, presumably 1 Imperial officer, maybe. Oh yeah, the one guy who gets chucked over the railing, in the bunker. 1 Darth Sidious / Palpatine, 1 Darth Vader, 1 Yoda, 1 Twi'lek dancer. Come on, Steven, you went to all the fact-checking trouble and you can't remember Ula. Disappointed in you, Steven. 1 MC-80 Liberty, 5,000-ish crew. 1 Super Star Destroyer. We had to delve into the now very confusing numbers of legends and new canon to determine this. So this is Steven's best estimate, which I will not question. 279,144 crew, 1,590 gunners, and 38,000 troopers.
Cool.
1 Death Star 2. Crew. He has estimated the low end of the crew because it's unfinished.
Yes.
1,186,295.
Yeah.
Crew. Troopers, 637,835, and some unknown number of innocent laborers, construction workers, foremen.
Yep.
That the rebels totally blew up because they are terrorists. Let's not forget.
Can't make an omelet.
Yep, exactly. Wait, what?
So you can't make an omelet.
Yeah.
Without breaking some eggs.
That's true.
And in this case, the eggs are innocent laborers. Or possibly, more likely, press gang slaves.
See, and this is what makes me, like, even more reason than for the rebels to, like, try to, I don't know. It's just, it's such a, like, a moral thing, but then it's like, I don't know, you sit here and you piss all over the partisans for behaving that way. Oh, you're taking out innocents. You can't do that. Well, apparently you're going to go a little partisan there, rebellion, in just a couple of years. It's pretty... Anyway. So the total for Return of the Jedi, 2,147,935 biologicals. The light side only loses 5,011 because you got the A-team. So if the Death Star hadn't gotten off that pot shot on the Liberty, you'd only have 11 losses. Dark side losses, 2,104,906. Scum losses, 18. With The Force Awakens, we take another leap forward in death. How was that? Is that like spot on? Sweet. Leave that in so they have no idea what I'm talking about.
It sounds like you were like doing a documentary.
With The Force Awakens, we take another leap forward in death. Join us today. There you go. 73 stormtroopers, 47 village members, 8 resistance members, 8 droids, 10 First Order officers, 16 TIE pilots, 12 Kanji Club / Squavian Death Gang members, 1 Han Solo. Oh, he didn't include the Rancor in...
he hasn't been including monsters in any of these.
That makes me sad. Yeah. Still the Rancor. Anyway. 1 Han Solo. Sad day. 1 Star Killer Base. There are no hard numbers or stats available, but presumably probably several 100,000, if not a couple
fair number
million.
Got off of the base.
True.
Is established by several of the
that's
various comics and stuff. But even so, sure, they're positive there were still plenty of people on there.
Yeah, and then the Hosnian sector. 1 trillion. No numbers for Hosnian Prime or Hosnian System, so using the number for Coruscant, since the 2 planets are pretty similar. So, are we ready for this staggering total?
Yes.
1,167,000,167 biologicals dead, 8 droids, 1,064,000,064 light side losses, Star Killer Base plus 99 dark side losses. So, not paying to be a good guy.
99
really.
plus N.
And then 12 scum losses. Ooh, Last Jedi. 798 resistance members. Ooh, yeah, that's a lot. When you don't have many to start with, boy. 33
well, and especially
TIE fighters.
Just related to most of the light side losses in most of these movies, it's, Ooh.
Yeah. 21 stormtroopers, 9 Praetorian Guards, 3 astromechs, 1 Snoke, 1 Admiral Holdo, 1 Luke Skywalker, 1 Mandator class Star Destroyer, I believe.
Dreadnought?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's the Dreadnought.
Yeah.
Yep, Mandator class. Yep. 53,000 officers, 140,000 enlisted, and 22,000 troops. Resurgent class times 2. So these are the regular First Order Star Destroyers.
Yep.
19,000 officers, 55,000 enlisted, and 8,000 troopers.
Right.
For a total of 379,834 biologicals, 3 droids, 773 light side losses, and 379,064 dark side losses.
Ooh, where do they keep finding them?
No kidding.
Well, I mean, obviously they recruit.
I guess you have a galaxy, so there's that too. So the total in all, and he has a lot of fun stats here at the bottom.
Yeah.
1 trillion. Excuse me. Total in all, 1,287,000,000,000 2,4,975,534.5 biologicals. 290,071 droids.
Yeah, you're warring wrong if that's the amount.
The light side losses are 1,002,009,000. 2 billion. Yeah, sorry. 9,541. Dark side. Wow, it really is.
It actually does turn out to be better to be on the dark side.
Yeah. As I've said all along.
Just
5
don't
billion.
live on a planet if you're on the light side.
Yeah,
you're
for
fine.
real.
5,218,026.5 dark side losses and 75 scum. So really, you want
really
to be an outlaw.
scum. Yeah.
The least deadly to most deadly for the biologicals. 1, Solo.
So Solo is the lowest, huh?
Yeah. Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith, Empire Strikes Back, Attack of the Clones, Rogue One, Last Jedi, Return of the Jedi, A New Hope, and Force Awakens.
Yes. So Force Awakens is in first place with 1,167 biologicals. Solo is in last place with 60.
Yeah, so really, really, Force Awakens, super deadly. Now the same, but for the droids. So which movie is it best to be a droid in? Apparently, Empire Strikes Back. Only one droid dies, and that's the Probot. The Imperial Probe Droid.
That's right.
Okay, so then he has Return of the Jedi with 0 on-screen droid deaths, but we have to assume that a large number of droids are destroyed on the Death Star.
I'm going to fact-check that, Steven.
Yeah.
We see a droid being torn to pieces in Jabba's palace.
Oh, that's true.
And granted, it's being
Steven.
tortured, but that it almost certainly died. We also get told that the last interpreter got disintegrated. So, yeah, there's at least one droid dies at Jabba's place.
Yep, that's true.
Not to mention any other serving droids on Jabba's sailing barge.
The eighth
we had
least
to
deadly
assume that R2 wasn't the only one, and they don't bother saving any of the
is
others.
Last Jedi. Followed by Solo, then Force Awakens, A New Hope, Rogue One. Our third most deadly for droids is Attack of the Clones, which is interesting. Yeah. That's the beginning of Clone War.
551.
Then the Phantom Menace, and then the most deadly for droids is, no surprise, Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
Because that's the end of the Clone
Part
Wars.
of the wars,
so.
yeah. Well, and yes.
Oh,
wow.
My goodness, that's just so much death.
That is a lot of death, yeah. So the prequel trilogy takes the cake for most death by virtue of Hosnian Prime, by virtue of escalation.
Yeah.
But
then I think it's the original trilogy after that.
Original
because
trilogy
of
for
Alderaan and 2 Death Stars.
Yep.
Ooh.
So the prequels are the
least deadly. Well, I did not expect that.
So the best time to live is to be a scum in the prequel era.
Dude, yeah. You have almost no chance of dying.
Yeah. Which
Unless
really
you,
seems counterintuitive to that occupation.
So if you're a scum in the prequels, in the Clone Wars, and you don't pod race, you're almost guaranteed to live.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unless you get hired by a bounty hunter, then you might have to worry about it.
So just stay on your own.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I'm also gonna clarify too. Looking at the various scum losses. What was the final total for scum losses? Did he have that here? Let me. 75 total scum. 3 of those were from the prequel trilogy.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So, if you ever find yourself Narnia'd into Star Wars somehow, take up scum and villainy. Just the scummy part of villainy, not the villainy part of villainy.
Yeah, because then you're the villainy part of scum and villainy will increase your likelihood
is pretty
of death.
deadly.
But just stay scummy and you'll be fine.
Stay scummy. Try not to live on a planet. Get yourself a good ship, go from place to place so no planets can be blown up underneath you.
Correct.
And you're good. Yeah, that is our guide to surviving the Star Wars universe.
For
apparently, is bounty hunting and or smuggling.
Yep.
2 historically very safe occupations.
Not the result I thought we'd come to.
Right? I love when we learn new things on these.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay, here's a question.
Educational. Do it, Ross.
Of the deaths we've discussed, what is the one that you would least want to have for yourself?
Ooh. I feel like a lightsaber wouldn't be too bad because it's going to be over pretty quickly.
Unless you're Darth Maul.
Well, sure, yeah. I don't know. Here's a death. I think he probably did. But one of the Geonosians gets eaten in the arena. Like, being eaten alive.
Yeah, I was just
not a good way to go.
Yeah, in Force Awakens, those, what are they
Yeah,
called?
the Rathtars.
The Rathtars. I would not want to
Being eaten alive in general by anything would not be super great, so I'd probably have to say one of those deaths.
I would go with the Sarlacc pet, just by virtue of if
you're going to
Jabba,
be slowly digested over 1,000
if
years.
Jabba and Salacious B. Crumb have chosen this as their prime method of horrific death, that's probably about as bad as it gets. Yeah,
because that's kind of what I was thinking as well. Just kind
the
of
various
around
Edens
until,
are all horrible, but especially that Sarlacc.
sitting around until you starve. You know, it's just not.
Yeah, so being killed by another sentient creature, though, well, like, so not
The
an
various
animal.
ways people die.
I think probably being choked to death by Vader would probably be my least favorite way to go.
Yeah.
Because, again, it's going to take a while. You know what's going to happen. I don't think being choked to death would be really pleasant,
I guess a lot of the deaths are fairly quick.
Yeah, like getting shot by a blaster, all right, well, you're dead. You get cut in half, or you get beheaded by a lightsaber. Well,
a lightsaber, there's always a chance that you just lose a limb and move on. Like,
true.
Yeah. Well, and I was
But
even thinking of
in
that,
Django's case, you get beheaded, it's over. There's no lingering pain. It's just you're done.
I was thinking of that Praetorian guard that falls in that pit thing in Snoke's throne room. Just and he's gone. You would think that sort of thing would, hurt a little more, but
at the same
quick.
time, that's
it's so
instantaneous.
quick.
Like,
You'd be dead just right away.
Pieces of meat flying up. I could go for that death. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Coolest death in Star Wars. And whatever that means for you. Like, you can have different parameters for cool.
Oh, that is an intriguing question. I had a moment when we were just talking about the worst way to die. I was like, basically, just fight a good guy. Like, you fight a good guy, you're gonna die instantly. And then I remembered Anakin at the end of Return of the Sith.
Oh yeah,
Revenge of the Sith.
I'm going to cut off three. I'm going to cut off your remaining 3 original limbs,
and then
let you light on fire.
Obi-Wan, that is cold. That is
yeah.
That is a very warm, cold death.
I would have to say,
all I can think of is the meme. Oh yeah, you knew my father? Oh yes, remarkable man. Flammable.
I think I would choose fight with a Jedi or Force user of some sort.
But which death specifically?
Well, see, that's a little bit tougher to.
Who has the coolest death in Star Wars?
It's a tough choice. For me, Han Solo's death.
Yeah.
Was really cool just for the story elements and stuff. Yeah. And of course, John Williams' music is fantastic, but then I'm sitting here thinking, I don't know, Darth Vader just deadlifting the Emperor and being like, nope, done with you. That's pretty cool. Darth Vader's death is really cool. Qui-Gon's death is pretty cool, but sad. Jango getting beheaded is pretty cool.
I'd want to go out in a blaze of glory. And it's usually how those altercations
No, this isn't
go.
how you would want to die. That's my next question. It's just which death that we see.
Would
you be like, this is
the coolest death in
Yeah.
Star Wars? In some ways, I kind of want to go with Yoda. It's like, oh yeah, I live to die of old age, bees. Who else can say that in Star Wars?
Luke.
I really am.
Not even Luke.
not
Like,
even
Luke basically died of strain. Yeah, like is at least I thought the implication there. Yeah. So strained himself to the point of.
That's true. He's the only one to make it to old age.
But it is still a pretty. Luke's death itself is still pretty bad, eh?
It is. I will grant. Yeah. I'd have to go with Luke or Yoda. Yeah.
Okay, and now the question Ross thought he was answering.
Yes.
How do you want to die in the Star Wars universe? Lightsaber fight because it looks way cool.
And that's the thing is, I want to go out in a blaze of glory.
I could be good guy, bad guy, doesn't matter. Like, give me a cool lightsaber fight to do before I die, and then I'm happy going out.
I might go with Holdo.
Ooh,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Yeah, I the only thing that stops me from putting it up there with coolest death is that I just can't get past the whole. Do you not have droids, Holdo? Like, why did you have to stay on that ship?
Yeah,
story purposes. Which I allow a lot for story purposes, particularly in Star Wars. But that one has always been for me just like, no, that's what droids are for. They're not really people.
3PO could have done it just fine.
Yeah, make a copy of 3PO and have that do it.
Yeah.
No, let's honestly, we want it done right. Let's make a copy of R2 and have him.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, shoot. Yeah, R2 is savage. No, you want it done right, have Chopper do it. That dude's a maniac.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Chopper is like neutral evil. For sure.
Oh, and then there's Kanan. Kanan's got a pretty cool...
Kanan's death. These
We
were just
stick to the
movies.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Steven, we need you to compile a list. All 4 seasons of Rebels.
And Clone Wars. I mean,
All
why
the
stop
episodes
there?
of Clone Wars, all of Resistance.
Yep.
And then start
Get it
working on
done.
the books, please.
Yep. We expect this done by 2 weeks.
How would I want to die? I think I come back to Yoda there is a pretty okay way to die. Like
Warm in your
peaceful.
bed is tough to beat.
Yeah.
It would
Warm in
be
your
the-
bed after decades of being just utterly alone, though.
That would be pretty sad.
I mean, technically, we're just getting the death. You don't necessarily have that, but he died old and lonely. Like,
Well, and I feel like he was doing a lot of Force exploration.
ooh, broken heart. I want to die of a broken heart.
Troll in chief right over here.
I don't know. No, but seriously though, hold up. Like, just die inexplicably for no reason. Like, I mean, that.
Wow.
Oh, I made myself
Yeah,
sad. Anyway,
alrighty. Anything else you want to say about every single death in the Star Wars movies?
oh man, I wish that everyone in Rogue One could have died again. Like, just kill them twice.
Wow.
Ouch, Chris.
K2SO has a pretty solid death.
Yeah,
I
that's true.
would put him on the list of potentials for the top coolest death. I don't think anyone
Yeah,
else
goes
in
out
the
fighting,
Rogue One
you know,
really gets that.
really.
Like K2SO did it first in that movie, and he did it best, I'd say. Yeah, I think so. If I was gonna choose a death, I would go with Kissed by Ventress. Why not? Die lightsaber combat, and you get a kiss.
That's a good one. That's so hot.
I feel like she's someone that probably doesn't brush her teeth, though.
That's possible, but
Oh, I think she does.
I don't think
at
there
it.
was any tongue there or anything. It's fine.
I love this show.
It's just a fairly chaste kiss. Like,
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, though, is that she's a night sister who are known to be witches, and they just don't have the best hygiene.
I don't.
You know?
I let me look at a picture of Ventress. I do not recall anything wrong with her teeth. Like, hold on here.
But, like, she's probably eating eyes of newt, and that cannot
Nah.
leave
Nah.
good breath.
Nah.
So, no, I'm not going to do that one.
Nah. Okay.
Let me see. I'm checking out Ventress's teeth. Which, to be clear, is not a thing I ever thought I'd do.
The things
Yeah,
that we look up
that's,
on this podcast. Oh boy.
If I can ever get a picture of her. Okay,
No.
here's a picture of her smiling, and yeah, they look pretty. They look pretty clean white. Yeah,
me
that could
see.
be
Let me
lipstick
see.
stains. I don't know. They can't really see a lot. She is definitely wearing some heavy lipstick. You're gonna get stains from that.
I mean, she has unnaturally white skin, so that's also throwing it off.
Well, yeah,
If-
but that's what I'm saying. Is
I think
putting
those
next
teeth
to
are
each
fine.
other, Yeah,
Yeah.
she's probably all right.
Couldn't do it.
You just
Ross, I'm going to hold that color palette up next to your wife's teeth, and we're going to check. I'm sure you'll be fine after that comparison. They're plenty white, man. Only cartoon characters have actually, like, pure white teeth.
Sorry,
Chris, find another picture.
No, I was just scrolling through and it had. Oh, that wasn't who I thought it was. Oh yeah, it is. I was scrolling through pictures of Ventress, and then it had one that was just the only person who should play Asajj Ventress in a live action, any sort of live action thing. And it has Denai Gurai, who played Okoya from.
Oh, yeah.
But you'd have to have some serious white face.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's
But
what
she would be good.
I'm kind of like, if Gamora can do green face, then
Yeah.
we can do that. She would be an awesome Ventress. Anyway,
Yep, that's a good one. Okay,
so I'm going with Kissed by Ventress. So
there we go.
why not? If you gotta die, live it up.
Yep. Okay, and after
Or choked by Leia.
Whatever that was.
could be...
choked by Leia.
What? That's how Jabba died.
Oh, that's
Choked out by Leia. I mean, that actually sounds really unpleasant. That flickering tail at the end going back and forth, like, that did not look like it was pleasant for him.
yeah. I'm gonna hold my comments.
or just being on an exploding Death Star. I mean, that's quick and...
Yeah.
But not as cool.
But
Not
then-
as cool as the lights.
But then you're in just a number.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
Okay. Well, after whatever that was, we're going to end the show. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at More Civilized. Join the Facebook group at More Civilized Podcast. And be sure to do the things that we've asked you to do on Facebook and Twitter so that you can enter the giveaway for tickets and all of those good things.
Yeah, absolutely. This week's shout out also comes to us from Facebook, which, by the way, the memeage over the past little while
has
been
really good.
Absolutely
good quality
top-notch.
stuff.
So thank you, everyone, first of all. But the particular meme that I have picked out this week for our favorite listener actually is Emily.
Hey!
Who is Steven's girlfriend.
Hey!
So the post looks like it's from Steven, but it's not. It's from Emily. She posted a photoshopped image of it looks like a courtroom. It's a headline, and the header image is of a courtroom. And the article title is Hitman Hires a Hitman. Who hires a hitman?
That's right.
Who hires a hitman? Who hires a hitman? And it's all these people lined up, and the first one has Palpatine photoshopped over it, then Dooku is the next one, then Jango, then Zam, and then it's the little worm thingies that are crawling up over Padme's bed. So I thought that was hilarious. Loved it. So thank you, Emily, for brightening our day a little more. And with that, you can find me on Twitter at Mr_R*star.
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at Itinerant Baxter. Let us know on Twitter or Facebook how you would want to die in Star Wars and what you think the coolest death is.
Yep.
Thank you all for listening. May the Force be with you.
Always.
Sorry.
Thank you all for listening. May the Force be with you.
Always.
I'm Anna Graves, and thank you for listening to a More Civilized podcast.
Curse you, Aqua Scum!